The first time I pulled the Tower card, I laughed. The second time, it showed up upside down. The third time, my boyfriend's ex tagged him, not me, in a post titled, "Can't wait to marry my twin flame." Let me back up. I'm Ava, 31, and I've never considered myself particularly woo-woo. I don't believe in crystals or moon water. But after a brutal breakup 2 years ago, I started seeing a tarot reader named Marina, mostly for fun. She was more therapist than psychic, really. A blunt Ukrainian woman in her 60s who gave zero fucks and always wore leather pants. When I started dating Jason last summer, Marina's readings changed. "The Tower follows him," she said, frowning over the cards one afternoon. "Something rotten beneath the surface. Not now, but soon. A collapse. Should I dump him?" She stared at me. "No, you need to see it." Cryptic, sure, but at the time, Jason seemed like the dream. Handsome, steady, real job, clean apartment. He never pressured me, always made breakfast, and never once mentioned his ex. Not until I found her name accidentally while tagging him in a story. "Who's Amelia Rose?" I'd asked. He'd barely flinched. "Old drama, dated in college, nothing since." Cool, whatever. Everyone has an ex. But that night, I had a dream. In it, I was standing at the edge of a rooftop. Below me, a wedding party. Jason in a tux, not with me, with her, Amelia, dressed in red, no veil, holding tarot cards instead of flowers. The sky turned black behind them, then lightning struck the altar. I woke up drenched in sweat. I told Marina. She said, "That's not a dream, that's a warning." Still, nothing happened. Jason and I kept dating. Months passed. We even moved in together. My friends called it a green flag romance. Until the phone glitch. It happened one random Saturday. We were on the couch. Jason's phone buzzed with a push notification from shared albums. That was weird. He didn't use Apple Photos much. But when the preview flashed, I saw a thumbnail. Jason, shirtless, wrapped in a towel, kissing someone whose face was cut off. I froze. "What was that?" He blinked. "Just an old pic, one of my boys trolling me with throwbacks." He moved fast, tapped the screen, laughed, swiped it away. But something itched at the back of my brain. Later, when he was in the shower, I airdropped the shared album from his phone to mine. The glitch helped me bypass the password. What I saw? Not just one photo. A whole album. Dozens of photos. Some recent. Weeks ago recent. Jason and Amelia at a cabin in Vermont. A Christmas tree, a shared bathrobe, a mere selfie that made my blood boil. She was wearing my necklace. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, trying to piece together the timeline. Every business trip, every team offsite. Every time he said, "I'll just be at my brother's." In the morning, I sent Marina a single text. "You were right." Her reply came 5 minutes later. "The Tower always falls." I confronted Jason that night. He didn't deny it. I wanted to break things off with her, but I didn't know how. It got messy. "You moved her into your photos, Jason?" She said she'd post everything if I left her. I stared at him. "So you let me move in instead?" He said nothing. I packed a bag, went to my sister's. Thought that was it. But 2 days later, boom, Amelia posted a carousel on Instagram. Diamond ring, Jason's hand, dinner on a rooftop, and tagged him, not me, not private, public. The comments were all fire emojis and "finally" and "soulmate since forever." But the caption? "He's always been mine. Some things are written in the stars." I clicked through her profile. There were no pictures older than a month. A brand new account, made just to drop the bomb. The final photo in the carousel? The same mirror selfie I'd seen in the shared album. Only this time, my necklace wasn't just visible, it was captioned. He said this was his mom's. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I just sat there, in my sister's guest room, staring at Amelia's Instagram post like it was a dead body no one had noticed yet. I zoomed in on every photo, every caption, every tag. There was no denying it. Jason wasn't caught. He was celebrated. People were cheering him on. And no one knew about me, except Amelia. And that changed everything. I messaged her. Short, direct, no emotion. Glad to know where my necklace ended up. She replied instantly. You left it behind. No emojis, no lies, just venom. I didn't respond. I couldn't. My hands were shaking too hard. I screenshotted everything and sent it to Marina. My tarot reader wasn't just a mystic anymore. She'd become the only person I trusted. She replied in all caps, "Do not react publicly. Wait for her to move." What did that mean? I didn't have time to figure it out, because 20 minutes later, I got another DM from an anonymous account. No followers, no posts. Just a message that said, "You don't know what they did to you, do you?" I froze. Then another message came through. "You think he cheated, but it's worse. So much worse." Attached was a screenshot of an email chain. I recognized Jason's Gmail. The other address, tarotcircle@protonmail.com. Subject line, "New client match, Ava W." The body of the email was short. Target, emotionally receptive. Predictive pattern active. Will proceed with reading schedule as discussed. Below that, Jason had replied, "Keep her paranoid. Let her find out just enough. It'll keep her from looking deeper." I dropped my phone. Marina, the woman who warned me, who pulled the tower, who kept urging me to wait and watch. She wasn't protecting me, she was coaching him. The fucking tarot readings were part of it. A manipulation script. I felt physically sick. My mind played back every visit, every cryptic line, every moment of false comfort, every strategic silence. She'd been guiding me, not toward clarity, but containment, keeping me emotionally frozen, unstable, distracted. But why? And who the hell was behind this? I needed answers, and I knew where to get them. I texted Jason, "I know about the readings. Meet me. One time, no scene. I just want the truth." His reply was immediate. "You don't want this, Ava." I replied, "I already have it. I want the rest." He sent the location, the park where we'd first kissed, like he thought nostalgia would soften the hit. "Hi," he said, sheepish. "Cut the shit," I replied. He exhaled. "What did you see?" I showed him the email. He didn't flinch. "You were part of something," I hissed. "Watched, played? Why?" He rubbed his face. "It started as a favor. Marina's part of a research circle. Relationship psychology meets mysticism. She picks emotionally susceptible women. Men volunteer. It's experimental. Behavior tracking, conflict cycles, emotional escalation. You volunteered to break me? It wasn't supposed to go that far. You weren't supposed to move in. You weren't supposed to get serious. You were just a data point." I backed away. "You manipulated me for research?" "She paid well." My head spun. He stood up. "Amelia was real. That wasn't part of it. But the rest? Yeah, scripted. The dream sequence, the photo leaks, the necklace,
all designed to see how you'd respond under psychic pressure. And the tarot? She read your profile, used archetypes that trigger subconscious fear. You'd be amazed how predictable people are when they think they're being warned. I wanted to kill him. Instead, I said the one thing I knew would land. I recorded this entire conversation. He froze. I walked away, but I wasn't free. Because that night, at 3:12 a.m., I had another dream. Same rooftop, same storm. Only this time, I was wearing the red dress, and Amelia was the one falling, right as Jason whispered in my ear. She tagged me, but you were always the experiment.
I woke up gasping, sweat-drenched, tangled in sheets, fingernails digging into my own palms. That dream, the rooftop, the red dress, Jason's voice in my ear, it felt real. Too real. The kind that doesn't fade after coffee. The kind that settles in your bones, like a memory you never lived. I stumbled into the kitchen. My sister Lily looked up from her phone. "You okay? You look like you just fought a demon." "Close," I said, voice shaking. "Do we still have that cold brew?" While I tried to swallow the night down with caffeine, my phone pinged. A DM. Not from Jason, not from Amelia, from the anonymous account again. Check her tag history. I blinked, reread it. Who? Then, ping. A follow-up. Marina never stopped tagging. She just hid the posts. I dropped my coffee and grabbed my laptop. Instagram. Search. @MarinaTarotTruth. Private account, but I followed her already. I clicked tagged. Only 4 photos were visible, but I remembered there used to be more. I clicked archived. And that's when the floor dropped out. Dozens of hidden posts, all women, all former clients, each one tagged in cryptic photos. Tarot layouts, burning candles, mirror selfies with captions like, "The tower rises again. Second flame incoming. Next iteration initiated." I clicked on one from 2021, a woman named Cassandra W. The caption, "Never saw him coming. Tagged Jason." No fucking way. Another one, Elise T, 2020, caption, "She believed the hanged man, but it was always the devil." Tagged Jason again. I kept going. 5, 7, 9 different women, all before me, all tagged with Jason's profile, all posts hidden, archived, but still there. Jason hadn't been Marina's first experiment. He'd been her template, a fucking repeat tool. I felt my throat close. I texted Marina, "We need to talk. Now." No response. I tried calling. Straight to voicemail. My chest tightened as I scrolled deeper. And then I saw it. A post tagged yesterday. Still live. Just one image. A tarot spread. 4 cards. 1 candle burned out. And in the center, a Polaroid of me. Taken from behind. I was sitting on my sister's porch, scrolling my phone. Caption? "The subject is aware." No emojis, no hashtags. Just that. I called Lily over. Showed her. She paled. She was here? I don't know when. I don't know how. I scrolled up to refresh the post. Gone. Deleted. And then my phone froze. Like, fully bricked, black screen, no buttons responding.
dead. Lily's did the same seconds later. What the hell? We ran to her laptop, dead too. Her Wi-Fi router was blinking like it had been reset remotely. A message popped up on her TV screen, on the smart TV, just white text on black. She's not done. Lily screamed. I pulled the plug from the wall. The screen flickered, then died. I backed into the hallway, heart jackhammering, and pulled out the emergency flip phone I kept in my bag for traveling. No apps, just texts and calls. I texted Jason. What the hell is this? How far does it go? He replied instantly. I tried to warn you, but you pushed. Now she's activating the next phase. What phase? He said, the mirror dream. Then silence. I called him. No answer. Then came another message from the anonymous account. A photo. Me, again, asleep in bed, taken from above, like from a ceiling corner. I dropped the phone. Lily grabbed it and screamed. That's our guest room. That's last night. That's you. But I was home alone last night. Lily had been on a weekend trip. She wasn't due back until this morning. So who took the picture? Who was in the house? And worse, why didn't I wake up? I ran to the room, tore through the vents, the smoke alarm, the corners of the ceiling, and then I found it. A small black orb tucked behind the curtain rod. A spy cam, blinking red, live. I smashed it. But I already knew. The dream wasn't just a warning. It was a trigger. I hadn't been dreaming about betrayal. I'd been trained to accept it. Scripted. Staged. And now, I wasn't watching the story. I was in it.
The walls of my sister's house felt like they were breathing. I couldn't tell what was real anymore. Was the tarot a prediction or programming? Were the dreams my subconscious or installations? I sat on the kitchen floor while Lily wrapped a blanket around me and called a friend from her tech startup job, someone off the record who specialized in surveillance countermeasures. He arrived an hour later carrying a signal scanner, thermal cam, and enough gear to raid the Pentagon. He swept the guest room first, then the living room, then the bathroom. 3 more hidden cameras, one of them in the fucking shower head. Lily gagged. I just stared. What kind of sick research project is this? She whispered. But I already knew. This wasn't just about me. I was one of many. We moved to a hotel that night. Cash only, phones off, no trace. But I couldn't sleep because I kept seeing that last tarot spread in my head, the one Marina posted. 4 cards. The Tower, the Lovers, the Moon, and the final card turned face down. Ominous. Unrevealed. And then I remembered something. Marina had once told me, back when I thought she was just eccentric, you never pull the last card. It turns when they do. Who's they? My burner flip phone buzzed, a number I didn't recognize. No caller ID. I answered. Silence. Then a whisper. You still have free will, but not for long. Click. No way to call back. I sat shaking, staring at the mirror above the dresser, and for a second, swear to God, I thought my reflection blinked out of sync with me. I backed away. No sleep. The next day, Lily's tech friend decrypted one of the spy cams. Its data logs included coordinates and timestamps. But one location stood out, a name embedded in the metadata as Arcana Studios Phase Vault 03 Subject Ava W. I Googled it. Nothing. I tried Reddit. Buried deep in a r/conspiracy thread from 2021, I found a single comment. Arcana Studios isn't a film company. It's a behavioral lab for synthetic memory induction. Project Mirror Dream. Run. I clicked the user's profile.
Deleted. But the name stuck. Project Mirror Dream. I texted Jason one last time. Was I ever real to you? This time, no text. He sent a video. I braced myself. It was me, sitting at Marina's table. Last year, the first reading. Only I wasn't talking. I was mimicking. She'd say something, I'd repeat it. She'd ask a question, I'd echo it, like I was learning a script, or like I didn't know what to say until she said it first. I wasn't being read. I was being programmed. Over and over. Same gestures, same lines, same cadence. Reinforced through dreams, clues, controlled betrayals. Emotional lab rats in love cages. Lily whispered behind me, "You're not crazy." But what if I was never sane? I opened Amelia's Instagram. The account was gone, replaced with a new one. Same photos, new name. Only now, I was tagged in the proposal post. Me. Ava. Not Jason, not Amelia. Me. And the caption? She said yes again. My sister gasped. My heart stopped. I opened the photo. There we were. Me and Jason. Smiling. But I'd never taken that picture. I'd never wore that dress, never saw that background, never posed like that. And yet, there was my face. Perfectly rendered. Like someone had deep-faked my memories before I could make them myself. I tapped on the image data. No metadata. Just one embedded note. Welcome to version 4. That's when it hit me. They weren't just predicting betrayal. They were resetting it, looping it, testing emotional cycles like seasons. The dream wasn't a warning. It was the beginning of the next round. And it was starting now.
By the time I realized what was happening, it had already begun again. New messages, new names, new glitches. Jason vanished from my life overnight. His number disconnected, his apartment cleared out, no trace of Amelia or Marina online. Even the tarot shop where Marina used to read was now a frozen yogurt place. The universe had rewritten itself, but left just enough broken seams for me to notice. That night, I opened my phone to find a brand new group chat I didn't recognize. Sleeping subjects. 5 participants, all women. No one used real names, just initials. A, E, R, M, and me, A2. The messages were chaos. Got the red dress dream again last night, 3rd time this week. Does anyone else wake up humming a song they've never heard before? My therapist stopped answering. I think she's in on it. Does anyone else feel like we're acting our lives instead of living them? Then one line froze me. Did you also see the 5th card? I stared at that message like it might explode. Because I had. In last night's dream, for the first time, I saw that 4th tarot card turn over. The hidden one. The Fool. It was me. Standing on the edge of the rooftop, blindfolded, smiling, ready to fall. I texted the group. I think they're wiping us in cycles. Emotional resets, new stories, same structures, same betrayals. A user named R replied, "The betrayal engine. That's what we call it. They run us through a script, track what cracks us, then reset the story and try again." I couldn't breathe. Was any of this real? Was my relationship with Jason ever mine? Was I even me? Another message came through. There's one way to know. Look in the mirror, wait 5 seconds, see if your reflection delays. I got up slowly. Lily was asleep. The hotel room was silent. I stood in front of the mirror, holding my breath, and counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My reflection blinked. Late, half a second behind. It looked scared. I screamed. Then the lights cut out. Everything plunged into black. My phone lit up. One last message from the anonymous account that had started this whole spiral. She tagged him, not you, because you were never the original. Attached was a photo. 2 women, identical, facing each other in a mirrored room. One smiling, one crying. Jason in the background, watching, holding a remote. I collapsed. But the dream didn't stop, because when I woke up, I was back in my apartment, the one I'd left months ago. Jason in the kitchen, making pancakes. "Morning, babe," he said. "You had a rough night." I opened my mouth to speak, but nothing came out, just static in my throat. He kissed my forehead. "You're safe now," he said. Then he turned on the record player. The same song from every dream, the same smile on his face, the same voice that whispered, "Let's begin again."
I didn't scream. I didn't run. Because I couldn't. My body moved, but not mine, like I'd been booted into some backup version of myself. My limbs obeyed, but with delay, like a puppet warming up. Jason flipped a pancake and said, "You like them with blueberries, right?" My head nodded. My brain screamed. I scanned the room. Everything was too perfect. The fruit bowl had the same bananas I bought before I left him. My sweater, the one I burned after the breakup, was folded neatly on the couch. The framed photo of us at the lake, the one I shredded, was back on the wall. Nothing had aged. It was all reconstructed. "Sit," Jason said gently, gesturing to the table. "Let's reset." I sat. A single tarot card sat under my plate. The Fool. No joke, no irony, just the next step in the sequence. I stared at him. "Where's Lily?" His face twitched. "Your sister? That script was deprecated. You've been moved out of that environment." "Script?" Jason didn't blink. "You're version 4. You were built for longer cycles, deeper integrations. The others broke too fast. You made it the furthest. Until Amelia misfired the engagement post, we're still tweaking her emotional responses." I felt bile rise in my throat. "I'm not part of a fucking trial." "You're not," he said calmly. "You are the trial." He slid a tablet across the table. On screen, a dashboard. My name, my metrics, emotional arcs, engagement response curve, active. Tabs labeled Script 4.3, Betrayal Initiation, and Loop 7, Mirror Dream Repetition. And then, in the bottom corner, Override, Run Manual Dissolution. I looked up. "What happens if I click it?" Jason smiled. "You'll wake up, but not where you expect." He stood, walked to the window, and stared out. We were trying to build empathy resistance, then memory plasticity. But now, we're focused on reality adhesion. I had no idea what that meant, but I knew I had 2 options. I could play along, try to outsmart the loop, pretend, or I could click the button and face, well, whatever was next. Jason turned to me.
We don't want to erase you. You're too valuable. I took the tablet, hovered over the button. You said I would wake up. He nodded. And if I don't want to come back? That's your choice, he said, almost sad. But we both know you will. You always do. I tapped, run manual dissolution. The room exploded in white. Not heat, not fire, light. I couldn't see, couldn't move. My body dissolved, thought by thought, like I was being vacuumed out of existence, pixel by pixel. And then I was underwater. No, in a tank. Naked, floating. Tubes in my spine, my arms, my neck. Wires wrapped around my skull. A dark room beyond the glass, blinking monitors, silhouettes in lab coats, observers, recording, measuring. My hands, thin, weak, real. I raised one, touched the glass, and then saw her, standing on the other side. Same face, same freckles, same eyes. Only she wasn't weak. She was dressed, holding a clipboard and smiling. She raised her hand and tapped the glass once, then mouthed the words, "You're ready for round 5.
They say the truth will set you free, but in the tank, it just held me under. I stared at her, myself, watching me like a scientist examining a mouse, the version of me with dry clothes, a steady heartbeat, and a smirk that didn't quite reach her eyes. She didn't look surprised to see me awake. She looked satisfied. Behind her, the lab came into focus, clinical, cold, lined with pods like mine, glowing faintly in the dark, some occupied, some empty, all silent. Each pod labeled by version, Ava W-2.1, Ava W-3.0, Ava W-3.1 fail, Ava W-4.0 active. And me? My tank read Ava W-5.0 reawakened. I floated in fluid laced with memories I didn't choose, betrayals I didn't consent to, love stories engineered like product demos. Pain, romance, heartbreak, looped and recorded. They weren't studying love. They were manufacturing it. A new face leaned into view. A man this time, silver hair, lab coat. He tapped on a mic, his voice buzzing through a speaker inside the tank. Subject 5.0 has reached full self-awareness. Impressive latency. I opened my mouth to scream. Water filled my lungs. No sound. He chuckled. Don't worry, that instinct fades. I thrashed. Bubbles, pressure, terror. The woman, me or not me, walked forward and placed her hand on the glass again. Her smile softened. She said, "You're not the victim. You're the control, the baseline, the one we loop because your responses are the most stable. Every betrayal, every dream, every version of Jason, we built them off your own choices. That's why it works so well. We didn't write the story, Ava. You did." I slammed my fist against the glass. It didn't crack. She tilted her head. "You were the first subject to ask about the 5th card. That's when we knew. You were ready." She stepped aside, and the screen behind her lit up. I saw clips of me. Every version. Me finding the necklace. Me confronting Jason. Me being gaslit by Marina. Me watching myself sleep. And now, me in the tank. Over and over. The betrayal engine wasn't just a theory. It was the software. And I was its longest-running test. A new screen lit up. Deploy Subject 5.1, the Reclaimer Protocol. The woman nodded. The man pressed a button. I felt it instantly.
like ice in my veins. My limbs locked, nerves fired like fireworks. I convulsed, my vision whiting out. Then, I opened my eyes. I was in a coffee shop. Jason was sitting across from me, smiling nervously. First dates are always weird, huh? My hand was holding a tarot card. The Lovers. A napkin sat on the table. It read, "She tagged him, not me." A phone buzzed. A notification. New shared album, Vermont 2023, iGlyph. I blinked. My heart stuttered. Somewhere deep inside, I knew what came next. The red dress, the rooftop, the mirror dream. But this time, I smiled. Because I remembered everything. Let's see how they like this version.